What's up, football fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got one of those stories that leaves you scratching your head and wondering if Vondre Campbell might have made the biggest mistake of his career. If you haven't heard yet, the San Francisco 49ers linebacker made some serious waves during the 49ers vs. Rams game on Thursday, and not in a good way. After being called on to replace an injured Dre Greenlaw, Campbell, who was suited up, ready to go, flat out refused to play. Now, we've seen some strange things happen on the field, but this one's a doozy. Naturally, Campbell's decision didn't sit well with his teammates. In fact, his teammates were furious and didn't hold back when they spoke out about the situation. Some choice words were thrown around, including a few colorful phrases that I'll leave to your imagination. So, what exactly went down, and how did Campbell's decision send shockwaves through the locker room? Let's dive into it. The backstory. Why did Campbell quit? First, let's rewind a bit. During the 49ers vs. Rams game, Dre Greenlaw suffered an injury in the first half. Campbell, who had been starting most of the season, was called on to step in and replace Greenlaw. But when it came time for him to do so in the third quarter, Campbell made a decision that left everyone shocked. He refused to play. That's right, he was in uniform, the team needed him, and he just walked off the field. It's a bold move, especially considering Campbell's been playing a key role in the team's defense all season. But when it came time to fill in for Greenlaw, Campbell wasn't having it. The frustration and confusion didn't stop with his teammates. It sent shockwaves throughout the 49ers locker room. Teammates speak out. Sucker, expletive. Now, the real drama started when Campbell's teammates expressed their feelings about his decision. And trust me, they did not hold back. Charvarius Ward, a cornerback for the 49ers, was extremely critical of Campbell's actions. Ward didn't sugarcoat things, saying, "He's a professional. He's been playing for a long time. If he didn't want to play, he shouldn't have dressed out. He could have told me that before the game." Then, Ward dropped a bombshell. That was some sucker, expletive, that he did. It definitely hurt the team. He's probably going to get cut soon. Whoa. Ward was clearly disappointed and didn't mince his words. And when you think about it, he's got a point. If you're not going to play, why even suit up in the first place? The team needs every player to be all in, and Campbell's actions seemed to suggest he wasn't. And then there's George Kittle, another Niners veteran who didn't exactly hold back his feelings either. Kittle, known for his fiery passion and leadership on the field, straight up didn't get it. "I don't see how you could do something like that to your team," he said, adding, "I've never been around anybody that's ever done that. And I hope I'm never around anyone that does that again." Yeah, when you've got one of the team's most respected leaders like Kittle saying this, you know Campbell's actions were out of line. But it didn't stop there. Deommodore Lenoir, another cornerback for the Niners, took to X, formerly Twitter, to express his thoughts on the situation. Lenoir didn't hold back, posting, "I call you brothers deeper than the surface. Blood make us related, loyalty make us family. I'll never quit on my brother no matter what happens. Cut from a different cloth. It can be 50 versus 1. I'm standing on all 10. Ouch." Lenoir's post hit hard, emphasizing that true teammates don't quit, no matter the circumstances. What led to Campbell's decision? Now, if you're wondering why Campbell made such a controversial decision, let's break it down. According to reports, Campbell was essentially a one-year rental for the 49ers, brought in after Greenlaw suffered a severe Achilles injury. Campbell had been starting for most of the season, but when Greenlaw returned, Campbell was relegated to the sidelines. That had to sting. After starting 12 of 13 games, Campbell was suddenly passed over for D. Winters when Greenlaw left the game with knee soreness. According to some analysts, this left Campbell feeling like he was being treated as a temporary solution, like a rental car, and possibly a little disrespected. Bart Scott, a former linebacker, said that for Campbell, this must have felt like a slap in the face, especially when he's been playing at a high level all season. But still, even with all that context, Campbell's decision to quit on his team in the middle of the game just doesn't sit well. Even if he felt slighted or frustrated, it's a bad look. Ryan Clark, an NFL analyst, pointed out that Campbell should have taken this frustration out earlier in the week or even before the game, not mid-game when the team is depending on him. If Campbell truly had an issue, he could have spoken up rather than making a scene in front of the entire team. What's next for Devondre Campbell? The real question is, what happens next for Campbell? The 49ers' team chemistry is in jeopardy, and Campbell's refusal to play has definitely caused a rift. As Charvarius Ward pointed out, Campbell might get cut soon. With such a high level of frustration from his teammates, it wouldn't be a surprise if the 49ers part ways with Campbell. After all, team morale is everything, and when one player decides not to show up, it could have long-lasting consequences. Comparing to other quitting incidents, Campbell's situation isn't unique. We've seen players like Antonio Brown and Deontay Johnson also refuse to play for various reasons, causing chaos in their respective locker rooms. But Campbell's situation is interesting because it seems to involve a disrespect that was felt by a player who had been starting for most of the season and felt suddenly overlooked. The question is, was Campbell right to let his pride get in the way of team success? Or should he have played and proven to the team that they made a mistake? Closing remarks. Well, that's the story, folks. Devondre Campbell's decision to quit on his team during the 49ers-Rams game has left a huge mark on the team. And his teammates are not happy, with words like sucker, expletive, and cut soon being thrown around. Campbell's future in San Francisco is uncertain at best. The 49ers are facing tough times with their playoff chances looking bleak. And now this drama only makes things worse. So, what do you think? Was Campbell right to refuse to play? Or did he let his emotions get the best of him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you liked this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to hit that bell so you never miss out on all the latest NFL news and drama. Until next time, stay tuned for more NFL action. Hey, football fans, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a real head-scratcher of a story coming out of the San Francisco 49ers organization that has fans talking, coaches scratching their heads, and media analysts trying to figure out exactly what went down. If you haven't heard yet, Devondre Campbell, the linebacker who joined the Niners as a replacement for Dre Greenlaw, made a bold decision during the 49ers vs. Rams game on Thursday that has everyone questioning his motives. Campbell was suited up, ready to go, but when the call came for him to replace the injured Greenlaw in the third quarter, he refused to step in. Yep, you heard that right, he just walked off the field. And let me tell you, teammates like George Kittle and Charvarius Ward were not happy about it. So, the question everyone's asking is, why did Campbell quit? What on earth could make a player who's been starting for most of the season just say, no thanks, in the middle of a game? Well, we're here to break it all down for you. Why did Devondre Campbell quit? First off, let's get the basics out of the way. The 49ers were facing off against the Rams, and things were already tense. Dre Greenlaw had suffered an injury in the first half, and the Niners needed someone to step up and fill in his spot. Enter Devondre Campbell, who had been starting for most of the season. But when he was called on in the third quarter, Campbell refused to play, leaving the field, despite being in full uniform and ready to go. To say this shocked everyone is an understatement. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would he refuse to play when the team needs him? According to former linebacker Bart Scott, it's all about pride and feeling slighted by the team. On ESPN's Get Up, Scott gave his perspective on why Campbell made such a bold decision. Here's the deal. Campbell was essentially a one-year rental for the 49ers, brought in to replace Greenlaw after he suffered a major Achilles injury in Super Bowl 58. So, Campbell came in and started 12 out of 13 games this season. But when Greenlaw came back from his injury, Campbell was sent to the sidelines. That's tough for any player. But the real blow came when Campbell was passed over again during the Rams game for D. Winters after Greenlaw left the game with knee soreness. Ouch. Scott went on to explain that for a player like Campbell, this situation was probably demoralizing. A guy who had been starting and playing at a high level all season now found himself sitting on the bench, with the team clearly prioritizing Greenlaw and Winters over him. That's bound to feel like a slap in the face. And for someone with Campbell's pride and experience, this was a hard pill to swallow. What did Campbell's teammates think? Now, here's where it gets interesting. George Kittle and Charvarius Ward, both veterans and key players on the team, spoke out about Campbell's decision. They were clearly disappointed with Campbell's decision to refuse to play, especially in a game where every play and every player matters. Ward didn't mince words, saying he was shocked and disappointed. And Kittle, always the passionate leader, was definitely not happy with how things unfolded. Let's be real. When a key player like Campbell decides to walk off in the middle of a game, it can shake the entire locker room. Team chemistry is everything, and when one player decides not to be part of the team effort, it sends a message, whether the message was about self-respect or just frustration. Campbell's actions definitely left a mark. Bart Scott's take. As a former linebacker himself, Bart Scott had a unique perspective on the situation. While Scott definitely didn't condone Campbell's actions, he understood where Campbell was coming from. In fact, Scott pointed out that many players have let their pride get in the way of making good decisions, especially when they feel disrespected or overlooked. He mentioned that Campbell probably felt like a stepchild or a rental car in the Niners system. Ouch, right? But Scott also made it clear that, while he understands the frustration, pride should never come before the team. He even said, "We've seen many players let pride get in the way of common sense." And while that's a valid point, it doesn't make Campbell's decision any less controversial. Ryan Clark's perspective. On the flip side, NFL analyst Ryan Clark took a different approach. Clark said that, regardless of how Campbell felt, he should have played, at least on principle, just to show the team that they made a mistake by not picking him first. According to Clark, if Campbell had issues with the situation, he had plenty of time during the week to communicate that to the team. But once the game started, it was all about putting the team first, no matter what. Clark's right in the sense that Campbell's decision not to play could have sent a bad message to his teammates and the coaches. Whether it was about his personal pride or frustration with the situation, Campbell was still a key player on the roster, and choosing not to contribute when the team needed him was a bold and risky move. A bigger picture. Diontae Johnson's refusal to play. And you know what? This situation actually echoes another drama-filled moment from just a few weeks ago. In the Ravens vs. Eagles game in early December, Diontae Johnson, the Steelers' wide receiver, refused to play after a dispute with the coaching staff. Johnson's situation was a little different, but it still involved a player deciding to sit out over personal issues. The Ravens suspended Johnson for conduct detrimental to the team, and now everyone's wondering whether Campbell will face similar consequences. Will the 49ers issue a suspension or fine for Campbell's actions? Time will tell. What does this mean for the 49ers? Unfortunately for the 49ers, this drama comes at a bad time. The 49ers lost to the Ravens, and now the team faces an uphill battle to make it into the playoffs. Campbell's situation has only added to the team's struggles, making it even more challenging for them to get back on track. The loss to the Rams was a blow, but with the team already reeling from Greenlaw's injury and now Campbell's absence, the road to recovery is looking even more uncertain. Closing remarks. So, there you have it. Devondre Campbell's dramatic refusal to play in the 49ers-Rams game was about pride, frustration, and feeling disrespected by the team. Whether or not the 49ers will punish him is still up in the air. But one thing's for sure, Campbell's decision will have ripple effects for the team. What do you think? Was Campbell right to refuse to play? Or did he let his pride get the best of him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest football drama. Until next time, stay tuned, and keep enjoying the game.